My name is Louis Shine, and I love entrepreneurship. I love business, and so Miss Francine asked me to come and speak. I was very excited because I've done these kind of talks before in college settings, and of course I've been in college as well. So I'll just tell you a little bit about myself, and then we kind of get started. But we're gonna do a quick icebreaker real quick. Anybody like icebreakers? No, not really. All right. All right, yeah, we'll give about 5 minutes. So, Louis Shine, I'm originally from Chicago. I did a lot of my growing up there. Also lived in Cali for about 5 years, and then I went to high school in Ohio, Lima, Ohio. I don't know if anybody ever heard of Lima. Then I went to Miami, Ohio, is where I went to college. I did undergrad, grad school there. I also played college basketball there. After I left college, actually had an opportunity to play some professional basketball. And then after I played ball, kind of real life set in, you know, there was no more basketball, and had to kind of jump in the workforce. So I had an opportunity to be a program director at the Lima Family YMCA. And that's when I really had a opportunity to kind of learn the ropes behind things. Not only was I a program director, but I had to have a steering committee that was under me. I had to fundraise. I had to organize all of my programs. So I started learning little things like that. Up until that point, I was kind of just, you know, shooting from the seat of my pants. I did some entrepreneur type stuff, but I didn't really know like the business side of it. So I just did little things like I cut grass. I had a window washing business. I did a lot of different things, which I'll talk about. That honestly, those experiences kind of helped me learn a side of business that sometimes you don't get taught in the classroom. But then when you learn what you learn in the classroom and you learn that side that you don't know, that you was kind of like just out there trying to figure it out, when you marry the two, like it really gives you a broad perspective of the business world. My wife was a business major, right?
Yeah, my degree's in business management.
Yeah. So this is my wife, Charbria, everybody.
Hello, guys.
So she came All right. So so after that, I had an opportunity to become a PR and marketing director for a professional basketball team, and I loved it so much. I started to learn the sports model in terms of like the marketing, the sports management part of it. You name it, and I'll go over some of those things in a moment. But then I moved on from being a PR and marketing director to I moved on to be a general manager of a professional basketball team. I did that for 4 years, and then that opened up an opportunity for me to be an owner of a pro team. So I actually owned a minor league basketball team for 3 years, and being an owner of a team, you know, everything rises and falls to you.
What?
Rises and falls?
No, being the what?
Owner?
Or the one in charge?
Yes.
Oh, and what happens?
Everything rises and falls to you. So like
Everything?
everything. So yeah. So, you know, if you're deciding like own a business or start a business, like you're the bottom line. You know, if something doesn't happen, you know, it's not the employee's fault, it's ultimately your fault. So I was over every single thing. Every time something went wrong, it was me. Every time something good, it was me. You know, so did that for 3 years, and then I sold my team in 2016, and from there I went into college basketball, and I actually coached in college, coached in the pros as well. So that pro sports side, I really became fond of it, but a lot of the takeaways I have from it, which I'll talk about today, really like shaped the success that I had in entrepreneurship. All right, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about that. But when I was done coaching, me and my wife, we moved back to the Chicagoland area, Northwest Indiana, and this is where we reside. And we're both entrepreneurs, so we do entrepreneur things. And I'll touch on a little bit of what I have in the horizons in terms of what I'm looking to do in the future. So I'm a go-getter, so a lot of what I talk about today may be like go-getter type stuff, but I hope that in some ways it will push you guys to, you know, go after what you want to go after. All right, so before I kind of get into everything, I have this presentation, but I really want to connect with you all, so it's not just going to be like just a presentation, click, and then questions. I really want to get into your lives and see where you guys are. Like, why are you in this class? Are you in this class because you just need the credits? Or do you want to use this because you really have an itch for business, entrepreneurship, or owning a company or things like that? I want to kind of see where you guys are. So I'm going to kind of push on you and ask a lot of questions today. So this presentation is Think Unlimited. So going into the business world, the world is so innovative. It's always changing. You got to have an extra edge about yourself. You got to be able to position yourself to think like the next person isn't. You have to be able to position yourself to think differently than the next person for you to succeed. All right?
You heard that already? Okay. This was not planned, by the way.
It wasn't. So I'll go over some examples, but if you think about certain examples today, like anybody remember Blockbuster? I remember Blockbuster. So be kind, please rewind. You got to rewind it or you get charged a fee. All right, so that went on for a while, but then somebody else came up with an idea like, you know what, I don't want to go to Blockbuster and rewind these VHS tapes. You know, here's Redbox. You know what I'm saying? So you got a vending machine for DVDs. So then it went from there. Now you got Netflix, you got all the streaming. You don't have to leave your home now. It's called disruptive innovation. And some people might be like, well, that's mean, you know, but that's not how the world works. You know, whatever industry you go in, it's constantly moving, it's constantly evolving. So you have to, on purpose, sharpen yourself so that you can think differently. A lot of my college years was wasted playing video games. I played a lot of video games, y'all. Lots of video games. Of course, I was playing basketball, but when I think about how the world is today, if I can go back, man, I would have hit it so strongly on the entrepreneur side with the time I had in college when I had no bills or little no bills. I had a phone bill towards the end of college, but during college, my mom paid for the phone bill. But just a throwback moment when I first started college, I didn't have a cell phone. Cell phones just coming on. I'll give you my age, all right? I'm 43 years old, okay? So I know I look 25, but 40. 43. So I graduated from college in 2002, and I did grad school, graduated 2004 is when I left, college. So back then, the cell phones, the internet, all that was just coming on the horizon. I remember being a junior, and in my dorm room, like the campus library, they had like the up-to-date computers. But my computer, it was an Apple, it was a black screen with green letters. So it was old school, you know what I'm saying? So that's when things were slowly coming over. But, when I look back, I was like, wow, like where things are today, I really would have been trying to push the limit on like, what do I want to do after college? Because a lot of times after college, you're thrown into the world where you have to do something, you have to make money because now you're not on financial aid. I was getting a nice little stipend. I'm not getting that anymore. So I should have took advantage of that time. And so when I was coaching college basketball, I coached at Winthrop University in South Carolina. I also coached at Central State in Dayton, Ohio. And one of the things I saw was there was a student that he would have this cart, and he was like a sophomore, but he would walk around campus and he had snacks all on the cart because at a certain time, like the caf closed, like all the stores closed, and people wanted snacks. So I saw this dude doing all kinds of stuff. He was like a straight up entrepreneur. Like I was even getting snacks from him. I was a coach, So I love stuff like that because it was pushing the limit. He was solving a problem. Like the stores closed. It was a campus community. The only thing open was a Speedway. And after that, there was like no real food. So he solved the problem and he made a lot of money. I don't know how much, but it was a lot because not only were people going to his cart, but then they were going to his dorm to get snacks. Like I knocked on the door a few times to get me some snacks, before I left campus or whatever. So it was just pretty cool. But a lot of like entrepreneurship is solving a problem. Like what problem are you made to solve in your life? What is that thing that gets on your nerves every time you see it? Or if you see it on the news, it's like, man, why do they keep doing that? And a lot of times that will show you personally what you're created to do. That thing that gets on your nerves, that thing that you want to fix, And And a lot of times you see people today, those things, they're fixing problems. It might be fixing a networking problem. So you got Facebook, you know, well, he's a gazillionaire, you know what I'm saying? But because there was something that he wanted to change. Anybody ever taken a taxi? No taxi cabs? You know, a taxi one time? Who's taking an Uber? They solved the problem. You know, I can remember taking taxis in Chicago and it just take all day. Like, you got to call the cab company because you might not see a cab. But Uber, you can just get on the app. And they there in a few minutes. They might be sitting across the street waiting. So they just swoop on over and get you. All right? So they solved a problem. And a lot of times you see problems that are solved, there's money behind it. A lot of money, you know. So that's kind of where I'm going today. So real quick, like, can you tell me some of your like aspirations in business? Like why are you taking a business course? Like what are you, is it a preparation for something that you really want to do? Or is it credit? You can be honest, you know, go ahead.
Hey, my name is Isha.
Hello.
I just wanted to choose business personally because of my family and because I have interest in it.
Yeah.
In future, I wanted to start my own business, but I decided though.
Yes.
But really soon I'm planning to move forward to get my own business. I can support my father and mother, like financially.
That's good.
That's the only reason.
That's good. That's good. And that's good that she pointed that out. And I'll get you next. Because you also have to have a why behind what you're doing. Because if you don't have a why behind what you're doing, you'll get to doing things. And when it gets hard or when the fire runs out of your tank, it's like,
Promise this wasn't planned. No words.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't have a strong why behind what you're doing, it's like, okay, why the heck am I doing this? It get hard, okay, I quit. I'm gonna do something else. But if it's like, okay, I want to help my family. Anybody love their family? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, I'm gonna keep moving. This might get hard. Yeah, I might run out of money, or they don't want to help me, or they ghosting me. They won't call me back. Because in business, you got to do a lot of asking. Like marketing is the grail in business. So if you don't want to market, you don't want to be in business. Like that's just today. That's how it's becoming. So when it gets hard, when people aren't, I've had so many people like they won't call me back, and you have to really work on your heart because you don't want to get mad at people or bitter or unforgiving because they don't have a right to give you anything. But you have to be strong enough and also surround yourself with people who are strong enough in the area you want to go into that when people say no, it's like, okay, no, you're not looking at no as a failing type of thing. No is an opportunity. I look at no. No, okay, all right. That means I'm going in the right direction and there's going to be a door that's going to open to me. So you have to be able to have thick skin or grow yourself to have thick skin. What I mean is, for me, I spend a lot of time watching, I got my degree in YouTube University, from YouTube University. So I watch a lot of YouTube. You ask my wife, I watch PD like every morning. Like we do our workout and then I'm putting something on TV. So like this.
Can you tell me what PD is?
PD, professional development. I apologize. Anybody know what PD was when I said it? PD? All right. Thank you. So PD is professional development. So it's pretty much taking it upon yourself to learn about the industry that you're looking to go into. So I know marketing is a big thing. So for the last 2 weeks, I've been putting marketing, professional development videos. I would put like marketing guru, how to market. This morning I was watching a video, I put it in YouTube, marketing 101. So I was watching this young lady and she was talking about like 10 things, 10 baseline steps to having a great market, having great marketing in your business. But it's there. And a lot of times you just have to go get it. You know, so I know that I would like to be better in marketing, so I took it upon myself to watch marketing videos for the last 2 weeks. Because somewhere in there I can pick up a tool or I can pick up something that it's like, oh, I didn't think about that before. And it's gonna make me get better versus me sitting back like hoping someone helps me or just taking failure because it's failure for failure's sake. No, I'm not gonna fail. I'm gonna do what I need to do so that I can be the best that I can be in marketing or in any part, advertising, scaling your business, whatever the case. Like you have to go after. So a lot of my years has been spent learning simply just like that, watching YouTube. I would pick up books. One of the books that I learned a lot from, I say maybe about a decade ago, I went to, it wasn't Barnes and Nobles, but it was one of those bookstores like in the mall. And so I went in there and they had a sales rack. I like the sales racks because I'm like, for $1, how much information can I get out of a book that's sitting there that's for $1? So I went over to the dollar books and I saw this book that said like 100 millionaires and their stories or something. I picked that book up for like $1. It was like this thick. And literally it was like millionaires that some of us familiar with, and it was telling their stories about how they became millionaires for $1. And I'm living off of some of that information today. So you have to be a consumer of information, and especially in your sector or whatever you're doing, because nobody's going to do that for you. And the more you do that, the more you're going to be prepared for whatever you want to go into. All right. Ms. Jenkins.
Yeah, my name is Ariana Jenkins. And back to when you was talking about like what irritates you. Since I had got into like the customer service industry as my first job and still my ongoing job,
Yeah.
I always wanted to fix the way of how guests or consumers are with the employees or the workers, like how they connect, because it seems like there's like a big wall that's keeping them from being able to be like kind or understanding to each other.
Yeah.
And it's just really irritating to see how people like act upon each other. Even though there are nice people that do like be nice to the workers and the brokers be nice to the customers, there's just a big wall in between them two that keeps them from being able to be a nice community.
Yeah. I love customer service, y'all. Listen, customer service, there's customer service in anything you want to do. So anything you're going to end up doing in life, it's a customer service element. And based on the excellence of your customer service, that's a direct correlation to how much money you'll make. So who and I promise you I'll probably get a unanimous answer, but who can you think of that has excellent customer service? Just say it. Oh, you? Oh, you, yeah. Her. And what's a business that's known for customer service?
Restaurants.
Specifically. Chick-fil-A. You gonna say that too? Like, why do you think they're known for that though? Like, just let's look behind the curtain. Like, why?
I'm not exactly sure, but are they trained to have to be nice to their customers?
Yeah, they are trained. So like, you ask my wife this too. I watch like Chick-fil-A training videos on YouTube. But they have them on there. They literally have their training videos on there, whether somebody put them out there and they were not supposed to, but they're on there. And so they come in and they tell you their vision, their mission statement, and then they go into like how they choose people. Like, they have a culture for a reason, and they choose people that mirror what their culture's about. So like, people are really like vetted. Like, you know what vetted means? Vetted means that so like if I'm gonna hire you, I'm gonna find out more about you first. Like, I'm gonna find out more about you. I might have a couple interviews with you. Then I might call your references. And then I'm gonna interview you again and ask a few more questions. And then I decide to hire you. So like, they talked about like how they really make sure people are about their culture. Like, they're gonna say the my pleasures. They're gonna have a smile. Like, those are the things that they talk about in their training, to answer your question. And so they put a priority on customer service. That's why several of you all can say Chick-fil-A, because it's known. Like, if you put time into something and you're known for something, the world's gonna know. That's why I go to Chick-fil-A. There's some other restaurants I won't name, but I don't even want to go over there because their customer service is like, like, they might be out of this, they might be out of that. Somebody might get mad for doing their job. They're supposed to serve you, but they're mad because they got to serve you. I'm like, well, why are you working here? So the customer service, I won't go over there because of the bad experience. And it was funny because we were out of town, and like, for the first time in my life, I experienced a bad customer service moment at Chick-fil-A. And it wasn't Chick-fil-A, it was the person. And the way we looked at it was because the person may have been having a bad day or whatever the case. But, you know, it was just funny. But I know that their customer service is on point. So, you know, it was just one of those things like, I can't believe it. You know, so anyway, customer service is huge. So that's huge that you would say that, because anything you go into, you're going to have to deal with people, period. All right, let me go through a couple of these. All right, so I'm turning on first.
It's 10:31, so you're gonna have like another 15, 20 minutes for this part.
Okay. Yeah, please keep me on time because I can talk. All right. All right. Imagination. All right. The act or power of forming a mental image of something not present to the senses or never before wholly perceived in reality. Imagination is the ability to see what's unseen. So, like being innovative in business, you can imagine things that aren't here. A lot of the people that are on the planet that are doing like big things in business, like a lot of times you'll see something come out. It's like, man, I've never seen that before. I've never experienced that before. Or if it's something that's out, maybe they've taken that thing to another level. And now it's like, okay, I'm taking customer service to another level. So maybe there's something innovative in customer service that you say, you know what, this is going to solve that problem. You know, they were doing this, now we're doing this. So now they're calling you all over the planet. They're saying, hey, Miss Jenkins, we need to fly you over here to Dubai because we saw what you did over there in the United States and that was phenomenal. So we want you to come over here and teach all of our people. You know what I'm saying? And they pay you $100,000 for 2 weeks. Would you like that? You know what I'm saying? So, and you establish yourself in authority, but it started with imagination. You're thinking like, okay, I don't like this, but how can I make this better? All right. Entrepreneurship, the activity of setting up a business or businesses, taking on financial risks in the hope of profit. So one of the things I learned is you don't have a business if you're not trying to make money. Like that's not a business. If you're doing something and you're just doing it and you're not focused on the financial part of it, it's a hobby. It's not a business. All right. The process of developing, organizing, and running a new business to generate profit while taking on financial risks. The process of setting up a business, taking it from an idea to realization. So you got to take it from your mind and bring it into fruition, bring it into real life. So some of the businesses that I've started, it was here. You know, I thought about it a whole lot. You know, I talked about it a lot. And then I put it on paper. And then I started it and did a business plan. So, you know, that's just the process of taking it from here to there. Everything's going to start with a thought. Somebody started, that chair you're sitting in, it was a thought first. And then it became a chair, that desk. You know, this building, it was a thought. Somebody's like, you know what? I want to do this. I want to do that. And then blueprint, build a building. Now you guys are sitting in it. So problem, any question or matter involving doubt, uncertainty, or difficulty. All right. So there's a problem that you are created to solve. You're created to solve some problem. Customer service, your heart for that is created to solve a problem. You want to make people feel good. You want to make the process better. You know, you want to ensure that people are completely satisfied when they come into the establishment. Whatever that problem is that you say, you know what, I don't like that and I want to fix that, you're solving that problem. And I'm kind of going through these little quick because of time. The solution, all right, there's a solution to every problem. And everybody can't solve every problem. They're not made to solve every problem. You ever seen somebody that try to solve every problem? I could be like that sometimes. My wife could tell you that. I'm a fixer, all right? So when something happens, I'm like, why? Do it like this or do it. But sometimes I got to learn to not say anything. It's not my place all the time. Well, everything is not meant for you to solve. But if you can find that thing that you're made to solve or that you're passionate about, then that can make you a very rich person, as we see in the world today. So I had some time I played for a pro team in Louisiana. And I spent some time in New Orleans. And so in New Orleans, they have this lake down there. And it's called Lake Pontchartrain. So I was always like fascinated about it. I was like, man, like, you know, they have this big lake. And somewhere in history, somebody decided to say, hey, I'm not driving, because some people live in New Orleans, but then you have like Slidell and some of the other cities that are on the other side of that lake. Let me see if this lake, there we go. So They were like, I'm not going to drive around here. You know, I don't like doing all that. So we're going to build a bridge straight across the lake. Somebody decided to do it. So I was fascinated about it. So when I was in one of the last times I was in New Orleans, I was like, you know what? I want to drive out on this. So I drove like about maybe halfway. And throughout the bridge, it's one of the longest bridges in the world. I think it goes, if I can remember, did I put it down here? 24 miles. So 24 miles of nothing but water. And even when I was flying into New Orleans, you can see it from the plane. It's just like long strips. So it's just interesting. So it's the longest bridge in the United States, okay, over water. And the longest in the world that runs continuously over water. So I went over this thing, and there's like passes where it's like 7 of them when you go across where you can turn around. But it's not the place to go when you run out of gas. You don't want to run out of gas out there. All right, so I turned around and came back, you know. But somebody solved the problem because going around, it's like the only way around, and it takes longer. But now you can go across the middle, and it's a shorter time for your commute. And it's not only a problem solved, but now it's a revenue stream because now you got to pay a toll to go over. So, yeah, just a toll to go over there. So, see, and it's just pretty interesting because it's 2 lanes and it's like not the place to be trying to speed, or it's just not. I mean, if you go online, you can read about, you can read about some of the stories people just acted a fool on there and went over the side. You don't want to do that. All right. So it was built to reduce the travel between New Orleans and the north shore of the lake. Travel time is about 20 to 30 minutes versus more than an hour. So going over this bridge is going to cut like a half hour off your commute. All right. But the tolls currently generate more than $16 million a year. All right. So it's a problem solved, but then there's a financial, it's making money, for the city. It's giving people jobs and things like that. So that's one of those are my favorites right there. That's somebody solved the problem. But think about how big this is. Like, you can't just this not like making a paper airplane. You know what I'm saying? That project is a humongous. I mean, to drill, and I watched some videos where they had to drill into the ocean and it's a lot. But here's the thing, don't be afraid of dreaming big, because anything worth doing, it's going to take work. There was times where I was afraid of work. It's like, man, that's to take too much. I'm just going to do something over here. But, when your dream comes to pass, it's going to help a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid of work, all right? Popular problem solvers, Amazon. Anybody use Amazon? Yeah. Netflix. Anybody watch Netflix? DoorDashers?
I do Grogu.
I see you. Okay. Uber. So these are popular problem solvers. What problem does Uber solve? Transportation.
We don't even have to worry about fixing other people's cars. You just have other people drive for you.
Yeah, you ain't gotta get no oil change. I mean, especially if you live in the city, you don't have to really have a car. You can get around. What problem does Amazon solve?
Everything.
Everything. Yes.
You can buy all your house products.
Everything.
Groceries, clothes.
I love that. You can literally get your products in less than 3 hours sometimes. And
Yes.
so convenient.
And it's funny because we've been watching, I love watching certain videos. Uber has a helicopter ride in New York City now. So you can catch a helicopter from somewhere in Lower Manhattan to the airport, during rush hour. You pay $200.
Yeah, no.
But you don't have to sit in traffic, So these are popular problem solvers. But check this out. Amazon, 513 billion. Netflix, 31 billion. DoorDash, 31.8. Uber, 4.8 billion. So when you find that problem that you can solve, it's gonna come to a place where if you stay consistent on that thing, it's gonna make you some money. I mean, we have real life examples. And here's the thing, sometimes you can go online and just study this stuff yourself. And I love studying outside of my genre. I'm sports, I'm in entertainment. Sports and entertainment is my thing. But principles go across genre. So if you want to do customer service, or give me somebody else, I want I'll use her all day because I love customer service. But what's something that anybody else wants to do? What, like your future business, anything?
So I'm actually a communications major.
Okay.
But I'm planning on going into PR
Okay,
actually after
PR.
college.
Yeah. So you could take PR, or let me ask this question. How many people want to be entrepreneurs and start your own business? How many people don't want to be entrepreneurs, but you want to be in business, but not necessarily start your own? Anybody? And that's okay. But a lot of these, because you can not want to start your own business, but you can be very valuable, and you can give value to your industry, and people pay you a lot of money because nobody on the planet can do what you can do. Oh, I'm gonna call this person because, let me get a quick example. I'll think of an example in a minute of a person, but if there's something that you can do that nobody else can do, they'll call you in because you're like a specialist in that area. You know what I'm saying? So it can be either way. I don't know where time is, but
Yeah, like,
5 minutes? 3 minutes? Okay, let's go. So I'll,
jump in and kind of do a few things.
yeah. So my wife, she has a productions company. So she does stage plays. She acts. She's an author as well. She does some things in that area. I'm in the professional sports area. Your story. All right. What problem do you want to solve? That's one of the things that you can start to ask yourself. What problem do I want to solve? Like you said your problem. You know, maybe there's a communications issue. You mentioned yours as well. So that's going to be that driving force for you. So while you're in college during this time where it seems like, you haven't hit like the real world per se, or you have like responsibilities, or I got to pay these kind of bills and things like that. And maybe there are some bills to this day, but I'm just saying, like when I was in college, I didn't have those responsibilities. So I had a lot of time when my time is spent trying to make money to pay bills. In college, I didn't. So I had time to really think, like, what am I on this planet for? What am I alive for? What do I want to do? What is my 10-year plan? What do I want to be at 50? What I want happen in my life at that time? You got to start thinking about that because you're going to be 50 someday. So if you don't start putting that together how you want to, you'll arrive there and there's no destination. You'll be 50, but you didn't take time to put into it. And so take time to start thinking about this. Are you willing to dedicate the time it takes to create something to solve that problem? Every problem, some problems can be solved like this. Some problems might take a little time, all right? What problems do you want to solve? So it's a good time. The earlier you can put your mind on what problems you want to solve, the easier your path in life is going to be, because if you don't take time now to put it on, then you'll be forced to do things you don't want to do later. Like, I'm not sure if you ever had a job that you really don't want to be at. Like, I've had some of those. And like, if I would have took time in college to really think about what I wanted to do, I could have came out doing what I want to do, but I was playing video games. You know what I'm saying? So, what problem do you want to solve? And you can start thinking about that now. You may not know that, but this is the time to, like, interviewing people, like you said, talk to people. And as you open yourself up to things, you're like, I like that. And that might have came from you taking initiative to go talk to somebody. All right. Sometimes things just don't come to you. Like, you have to do some searching and digging up and see what you like. Because if it was just here, the world would be a better place because everybody know what they're supposed to do. But you got to dig sometime. Watch some videos or conferences, or I'm not sure if you told them about the thing I'm having this Saturday.
Well, they do know about it, and I'm gonna make sure we get to it.
Okay, so yeah, you have to take initiative to find this out. You got to dig for it sometimes. How will you make money with the solutions to these problems? So business has to have an element of the finances. Like, how is this gonna make money? I'm gonna cut somebody's grass, but I need a little money back. I'm not just gonna do it for free. You know what I'm saying? How does your customer service business make money? Well, you know what? I'm gonna charge this amount for a consultation. If you need me to come in person, then it's gonna be an extra fee. Plus, you got to take care of my travel. You know what I'm saying? Like, you getting the package out. You know what I'm saying? So you can package it out, whatever you're doing. And then you got social media. I mean, you can really get online and talk about what you do and get it out there on YouTube. It's a lot of ways, Do you see yourself doing this for the next 10 years? Like, you got to think about that. Like, man, do I want to? No, I just want to do this for right now. Okay, then what do I want to do for the long haul? Because now, if you're in it for the long haul, then you won't be so quick to quit if something doesn't go right. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about that. Like, is this something I really want to do, or I'm just trying to make some money right now. How come I'm gonna do this right now? You know, so, and this is just my information, me and my wife's information. You can connect with us on social media and things like that. But that's it for the
They can
presentation.
actually just leave it right there for me.
Yeah.
So we of course have questions.
Yeah, any questions?
10:55, so I need about 4 or 5 people, to ask the question, and we kinda gotta keep it just a little bit brief, cause I still wanna do the words of encouragement as well. I wanna do time for that, a few pictures and stuff like that, so. Who are my volunteers? Yes.
Go ahead.
So you stated that, so in college you were more focused on your games and stuff, right?
Mhm.
So what was the turning point of your life that you thought about that I should move forward to the business instead of moving forward to other stuff?
So yeah, in college I was focused on trying to get to the NBA. That's what I was trying to do. So I didn't really focus on like, okay, what if that doesn't happen? So after my first year of playing pro, I had to go into the hospital for my heart because there was some stuff going on with my heart. And so I couldn't play that next year pro. So that was it for me. And that was turning point. Now I had to think about real life. Like, okay, what am I gonna do to make money? I got a car note. Like, how I'm gonna pay this car note and rent and stuff like that. Like, that was turning point. And then to go with that, I used to work at Sprint. This is one of these Sprint kiosks in the mall. And I was like top 3 in the company in sales. And it came the month of May where it was a bad month for me. I only sold like 8 phones or 11 phones and I had 3 returns or whatever. So I got let go because I had a bad month. And I told myself I'll never be in that position again. You know what I'm saying? And so that's when more of my entrepreneur engine started to kick off so that I can be in control of my future versus if I have a bad month and I've had 8 good months, now you're letting me go. So that really turned for me. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Did you have any businesses that failed, and if you did, how'd you bounce back?
Yeah. So I've started about anything you can think of: window washing, detailing cars, cutting grass. I would have to say, failing wise, I wouldn't call it a failure, but when I had my professional basketball team, I had it for 3 years. If I'd known what I know now, I would still have it. But what I learned and reason why I had to sell my team is because I was able to jump into a higher league, but it costs more to be in that league. So like, you know, we had games on TV, so there was a cost for certain things that were a little higher than the league I was in before. And so I probably could have been okay in that league, but there was things in that league that I spent money on that I didn't have to spend it on. Like I didn't have to pay somebody big money for a national anthem when I could use the local glee club to come and sing for me for like probably free. But I spent money hoping that would bring people in. It didn't. So then I kind of was like, that money was like, I lost that money kind of. So that was a big lesson. I think that was part of your question. But bouncing back, I'm actually working on starting a pro league now where I'll be the owner of the league. And I'm already determining in my mind that there's things I'm not going to spend money on if I don't have to. So that was kind of a bouncing back from that failure. And I also use that in different areas of my life, you know, in between where if you don't have to spend money on it, don't spend it. So I hope that answered it. Yeah. Anybody? Go ahead.
What made you want to start your new project?
My new project, the one that I just said about? Because so I always wanted to go back into pro sports, and I've been asked to be in a few leagues to bring a team to a league. But for me, the reason I'm starting it is because for 2 reasons. Number one, I'm a community person, so like I want to impact cities, and I want to help. That's a nice little song right there. I like it. Like a Hawaiian feel to it, kind of something with it. But I love communities, and one of the things I learned about the team that I had before in Ohio was sports touch a community like a lot of things doesn't. Like anybody Cubs fans or Sox fans, or it's like you get behind that. It's like, man, it's my team, you know what I'm saying? And then when they win the championship, you like, let's go, you know what I'm saying? Like it does something to you, and all of a sudden you might find yourself out of the stadium or somewhere watching the game with people, and you guys are like, I don't know you, but we Cubs fans, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like now we brothers, you know. It just does something for a community, and I love that. But that can also spill over into different things like helping families or coming into the school system, speaking to the youth. You know what I'm saying? Sports does that, and I love that part of it. Also love the part of helping athletes that are underdogs, because everybody's not going to go to the NBA, but someone gave me an opportunity. I was a walk-on in college, and I still played pro, and that doesn't really happen. And so, but somebody gave me a chance. So I want to give the underdogs a chance. And that's why, those are two reasons, the community and helping the underdogs.
One more.
Good, got two. Okay, go ahead. First.
Besides watching like YouTube videos
Yeah.
and other like motivational type stuff, how
Yeah.
else do you like build up your mind?
Love that.
That's beautiful.
Nice question.
That's beautiful. I would say I cold call people. So like if there's somebody that I'm connected with, I'll cold call them or like cold message them on social media.
What does that mean?
So that would mean like I don't know you, but I know that you're good at marketing. So what's that, Devon?
Yeah.
Devon? I'm like, I might not have your number, so I'll get on IG and be like, hey Devon, how you doing? My name is Louis Shine. I see that you do a lot in marketing. Would you have a few minutes to get on the call? I would love to learn how you did this. Now, you might get 99 people that don't even respond, but you might get one person that say, I get on the call, because one of the things I learned is people like to talk about themselves. So if you ask somebody about something, they're probably going to be more apt to tell you like, hey, yeah, I did it like this, you know what I'm saying? And so now I just had a session for free, you know? So I like reach out to people, you know? Like if I know she did something specifically, I might say, how'd you start that business? And she's like, well, I did this, and this.
Well, no, see, for me, I'm gonna listen back and see if that is a fee I need to charge.
Well, I might ask that first, but yeah, so I'll ask people, and I'll try to learn things like just by asking people, like it could be anything. If you're looking for marketing, if you're looking for advertisement, if you're looking for like graphic design, like I've been known to reach out to people like and just ask them, you know.
Awesome. One more, because then we got to switch up a bit.
Yeah. Did you find it difficult to go from college to the professional world? And what did you do personally to stand out once you got into the professional world?
Ooh, that's a good one. So it wasn't hard to transition because I spent so many of my younger years like feeding myself stuff that was going to keep me on fire. So whatever the industry or whatever you're trying to do, what is it that you want to do?
I want to become a financial advisor.
Financial advisor. So if I were you, like let's just say that was me and I was like in college, I'm trying to find out who the top 3 financial advisors are on the planet. And I'm going to learn from them, whether that's virtually or if they're coming to a conference in Chicago, I might need to get up some money or do a GoFundMe or whatever to get to the conference, or maybe you balling, maybe you got the money. So go to the conference so you can be up close and personal with the best in the world. Because if you want to know how to swim, you probably should learn from somebody that know how to swim. So if you want to learn how to be the best financial advisor, you should learn from the person that's doing the best at it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I did. It helped to drive me. So when I got to make that transition, it wasn't hard because I was learning from people that were like at another level, if that answers your question.
Yeah.